Howdy folks, this is Justro at Metcalf Mills. I got a little short thought of the day for you today. I was thinking about punching floors. And I done a video about the Vance homestead the other day, and there's a punching floor in their smokehouse, and somebody was asking about what is a punching. What was that word you said? P-U-N-C-H-E-O-N, punching. And what that is and where it come from is this. Back in the olden days when they was settling this country, they had, in a lot of their houses, they just had a dirt floor. And I've known of people having dirt floors in their houses. Well, the next step up from a dirt floor was a punching floor. They had to figure out what to make a floor out of out in this rough country, out in the mountains, and they come up with a good idea of making a punching floor. And the way they done that, when they put their sleepers in, it's not a floor joist, it's a sleeper, maybe 4 to 6 feet apart on the floor. And then they'd split their puncheons out 4 to 6 feet long, and the puncheons would lay side by side on top of the sleepers. So all a puncheon is a split off piece of a log that's, if you quartered a log up, the way they look more like that they've sawed or split the side off of a log, and the bottom side would be either split out or rounded. And what they would do, these puncheons could be from 1 foot to 2 foot wide, floorboards. And they would lay these puncheons down, and they might have to notch the end of them a little bit where they laid down on the sleepers. And they'd lay the puncheons side by side. And they would take either a hand plane or a foot adze, which is a tool it's like an axe, but the blade lays flat. So when you're chopping with it, it's like a hoe made for wood. You can chop. It's razor sharp to work right. It has to be razor sharp, and you can kind of hand plane wood off as you go. And they'd use that foot adze or a hand plane and smooth up them puncheons to make a nice smooth floor. And it's really beautiful when you see a puncheon floor and it's been done right. A lot of times if they put anything on them, they would drill holes down through them and drive pegs through the puncheon into the sleepers. And they'd usually use poplar wood to make these puncheons out of, mostly here in the mountains. They might have used oak and chestnut, but for the most part, it was poplar wood that they made these puncheons out of. One of these days, maybe we'll get a chance to see another puncheon floor, and we'll look at it real good and help you get a better idea of what a puncheon is. I wanted to share this with you too about, it's a funny little thing about puncheons. Now, way back, a lot of people didn't even have a clock. And they would, if somebody come around with a clock, they would check a shadow or something like a sundial, except maybe a shadow where the chimney was on the ground or something to know where 12 o'clock in the day was. They would remember where that shadow fell at 12 o'clock in the day. They didn't have a clock or a watch. Then they could tell about when midday was. And this one time they used, the light was coming through their cabin window, and they had a puncheon floor there. And where the light shined through the window, there's a mark or something on the floor that they would know where 12 o'clock was. Well, somebody hollered and said, "What time is it?" And they looked at the floor and they said, "It's a puncheon and a half past 12 o'clock. That always tickled me. I thought it was pretty funny. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but I hope you got a little laugh out of it. It's a puncheon and a half past 12 o'clock. It's about almost 8 puncheons past 12 now, so I got to get off of here and get this thing up for you. I hope you all had a good day today. We did. The girls is back in the school groove and they're doing good, or Charlotte's in the school groove and Virginia's back in it. They're doing great. Like this video if you will. Subscribe if you ain't already. Tell your friends about me. And keep an eye out for a punching floor if you go in any old buildings anywhere, old houses. This is Just Row at Metcalf Mills. I look forward to seeing you next time.